Salutations, everybody. It is Matty here today. Wow, here we go again. This arms race is heating up. PlayStation just bought Bungie for $3.6 billion. And this is so surprising, as all these acquisitions typically are, for a number of reasons, right? Because PlayStation's gotten into the cadence of developing a relationship, right? We've seen them do it with Housemarque, with Bluepoint. So when their acquisitions rolled around, it really wasn't that much of a surprise. But to me, Bungie truly was. But it's such a smart move for PlayStation because with Xbox absorbing the FPS market as a whole with Doom, Halo, and through Activision, now Call of Duty, they have a pretty strong grip on it. So this seemed like maybe a defensive move by PlayStation to ensure that they had a foothold in the FPS space. But there's a lot of interesting crevices, if you will, to this deal. Some that will surprise you on the front of exclusivity. But it looks like PlayStation's not done and they are going to be spending more. And here we go. This is what happens, right? We all said this right when the Activision deal happened. This is going to set off a chain reaction unlike any other. More purchases are coming all throughout the year. I don't know if it's going to come from both sides because Xbox doesn't want to bring too much attention to themselves, but PlayStation is going to keep moving. What's also fascinating about this is that Bungie was owned by Microsoft at one point. They had a deal with them around 2000, and then they went independent, and then they struck a 10-year deal with Activision, which then they broke out of early on because they didn't like that deal. So now they're with PlayStation. They're playing every side of the fence they possibly can here. So my question is this permanent? Or is this some type of, fling, if you will? There's a lot of question marks surrounding this alongside the status of exclusivity and what PlayStation's real goal is here. But I think it's going to make a lot more sense once we start to see Spartacus come into view. So we've got a lot to talk about in this video here today. Really exciting news, so be sure to subscribe because, hey, look at this! We're talking about PlayStation. A lot of people are like, you don't talk about PlayStation. I'm like, sorry that everything's been happening on the Xbox front. I don't know what to say to y'all, but anyway, if you're new here and you're into video game news, discussions, reviews, consider subscribing. Dying Light 2 review coming very soon, so keep your eye out on that. Now, let's talk about this significant deal with PlayStation. I want to begin with what Bungie said on their own personal blog. We believe games have limitless potential and that to do anything worthwhile in entertainment, we must bet big on our vision, on our studio, and on our incredible team of trusted creators who build unforgettable worlds that truly matter to people. In SIE, we have found a partner who unconditionally supports us in all we are and who wants to accelerate our vision to create generation-spanning entertainment, all while preserving the creative independence that beats in Bungie's heart. Like us, SIE believes that game worlds are only the beginning of what our IPs can become. Together, we share a dream of creating and fostering iconic franchises that unite friends around the world, families across generations, and fans across multiple platforms and entertainment mediums. Today, Bungie begins our journey to become a global multimedia entertainment company. Since taking flight in 1991, Bungie has always charted the future with our own star map, a path that is driven by our people and for our community. We are continuing that journey with new worlds in development, and we can't wait to share them with you. With SIE, the potential for our universes is unlimited. Our future games will take bold steps into unexplored spaces for Bungie, continue to push the boundaries of what is possible, and will always be built on a foundation of creating meaningful, lifelong friendships and memories. We remain in charge of our destiny. We will continue to independently publish and creatively develop our games. We will continue to drive one unified Bungie community. Our games will continue to be where our community is wherever they choose to play. With SIE's support, the most immediate change you will see is an acceleration in hiring talent across the entire studio to support our ambitious vision. If this speaks to you and you want to help us put a dent in the universe, we're hiring across all disciplines for Destiny 2 and for all new worlds beyond. Creative independence. Wow. Okay. This is very surprising, but I really want to drive it home with how serious things are about multiplat for Bungie, for PlayStation. And it's funny because, look, the narrative has been, and I still think it's true, but this is a plot twist in of itself, was everyone was saying, if PlayStation locked someone down, it was gonna be an exclusive. Whoa, let's hit the brakes on it for a sec. What really is the plan? We'll talk after. Let's read a little bit more because there is more information. to divulge. Here is the update for Destiny 2 where they say our shared vision: one community, multi-platform, self-published, creatively independent, where Bungie maintains full creative control and publishing independence of the Destiny universe, as well as the same game everywhere. Every player should have an amazing Destiny experience no matter where you choose to play. And you'll see they posted a frequently asked questions section, like, does Bungie becoming a part of PlayStation have an impact on play and experience? Or will the experience on non-PlayStation platforms be changed? Or will any announced seasons, events, packs, or expansions be changed? Or the Witch Queen expansion, which is coming out soon, will that be changed? Will there be any exclusivity to that? And you'll notice across all of these answers to these questions, it always begins with no. No, no, no. But most notably is Bungie has future games in development. Will they now become PlayStation exclusives? The answer is no. We want the worlds we are creating to extend to anywhere people play games. We will continue to be self-published, creatively independent, and we will continue to drive one unified Bungie community. And I think I know why this is the case. Multi-platform live service is more lucrative than exclusive live service. We saw what happened when Xbox absorbed Bethesda, right? They kept Fallout 76 on a multi-platform basis. They kept Elder Scrolls Online on a multi-platform basis. But anything that was single player came home, right? This would lead to me suspecting that whatever Matter is, obviously a Destiny 3, will be live service, and in turn, multi-plat benefits PlayStation as a brand much more, where there's not something they can truly make exclusive, if you will. That is my working theory. And the reason I say this is because of what Jim Ryan's stating, where he writes, "This is a strategic step towards continuing to evolve the gaming experience that we build. Bungie's expertise in delivering a world-class service approach and long-term community engagement is extremely compelling and will support the development of several future live service titles from PlayStation Studios. Equally, we see the exceptional skills that PlayStation Studios possess offers the potential to enhance Bungie's existing and future IP portfolio." So what Jim is saying here is effectively, hey, they have more live service titles on the way, not only from Bungie, but also from PlayStation as a brand. PlayStation's doing more service games. So bring in the big dog who's doing service games right. I don't play Destiny, but I have a lot of friends who do play Destiny. My co-host of Defining Duke plays Destiny. I mean, I know so many people who are obsessed with where Destiny is at right now, and the hype for Witch Queen is so high, right? It's so high, where this is capturing them at a really interesting point in their company's history, because I feel like for Bungie, it looks more as if they're just getting their financial support and they're going to keep doing their thing as they always were. And if that's what consolidation is going to bring, then I totally get why these companies are flocking to Microsoft, to Sony, who knows about Embracer. I mean, because when you're being told, hey, you can keep doing your thing, man, we just want this amount of a cut, like 10%. Otherwise, we're going to give you the money you need. We're going to make these games bigger, better. We're going to reach a bigger audience, more marketing budget. A lot of these companies are going to sit there, shrug their shoulders and go, why are we going to stay independent and make life harder for ourselves? So Bungie, I think, is a walking example of that. But however, they've shown when they start to dislike a deal, they are out of there. But there's still more from Jim Ryan I want to read through. So let's continue on, because he's saying, Bungie's successful track record in multi-platform publishing and live service games will assist us in realizing our ambitions to take PlayStation beyond the console and increase our potential audience. They will remain independent and multi-platform, will enjoy creative freedom, and their track record in developing massively successful franchises in the sci-fi shooter genre will be highly complementary to SIE's own IP portfolio. This is probably the most illuminating statement of it all, because now we can see it's saying like, hey, we got the FPS now. I'm assuming we're waiting on games like maybe Resistance, Killzone coming back. PlayStation has great FPS franchises. Bring back SOCOM, man. A gritty SOCOM game would be amazing, especially in a world where we see Ubisoft doing Ghost Recon Boring Lands and whatnot. I just want to see a good third-person tactical shooter, and I do think that bringing SOCOM back with that SIE flair, and I do think bringing back SOCOM with that PlayStation Studios flair, that big budget, oh my God. I mean, it just fits so well as they're doing, because they're already doing these big third-person games. So here's a game that in the early PlayStation 2 days was a dominant third-person title. I played SOCOM so much. What an incredible franchise. But PlayStation wants to go beyond the console. Remember what I said earlier in this video? Spartacus, I think, is going to tell us more about what this deal really entails for PlayStation, because they want to go beyond the console, just like Xbox is already doing that, right? We've seen them doing the cloud with your phone, tablet, computer. They want to get on other consoles. So what I could see is this being a developing play for PlayStation to maybe make a swap at some point down the line if they want to go beyond the consoles. We'll give you the Spartacus app. You'll give us the Game Pass app. We'll call it a day there. This is what we're building towards. And it's funny because this is what happened with television. You had Netflix, which was this, whoa kind of thing. Oh, this is amazing. Everyone signs up. And then you got Hulu. You got Disney Plus. You get ESPN Plus. You just start to get 1,000,001 subscription services. So that's what we're building towards. There's a lot of perks to that. There's a lot of negatives to that. But the goal here is for all these companies to grow gaming. And hopefully through this acquisition of IP and studios, we can break down some of these console barriers that seem to keep even people in the comment section from just getting along with each other and not battling over their own stupid plastic box. Also, because of the timing of this news, a lot of people thought it was this knee-jerk response to Activision, but it actually turns out to be just very good timing on PlayStation's front, as they write. We've had a strong relationship with Bungie for many years, and we spent considerable time with the Bungie management team to develop the right relationship that promotes collaboration and knowledge sharing. During the extensive conversations that have taken place over the past few months, it is apparent that Bungie's management is incredibly excited at the prospect of collaborating with the PlayStation Studios team. So for those who think that Xbox kicked PlayStation between the legs so hard that they ran over to Bungie and said, please, here, we'll pay $1 billion more than you're worth. Here, please. I mean, I'm sure it increased Bungie's price tag, but there is clearly a deal that was ongoing for some time here, for a number of months. I think also the stance that Bungie has here may be why, if it was an option, Xbox didn't want it. Xbox, they like their exclusivity because it bolsters Game Pass when it's only in that service. Game Pass is accessible, and as more platforms embrace it, it won't be as big of a wall as, say, like what we talk about with PlayStation console exclusives. But Xbox likes their exclusives. And Bungie was sitting there going, yeah, we want to remain independent and multi-plat. Xbox is probably like, we'll go talk to someone else, right? Because we kind of saw this with, I talk about KOTOR Remake a lot, as I have it on good authority, that Xbox was in on that deal and they pulled out, which was a huge mistake because they left it for PlayStation, who then ate it up. And I'm like, dude, that's heritage. That's Xbox heritage that you left at the table there. So it seems like they're looking for something very particular in their deals. And there's more to come. Jim Ryan said this to gamesindustry.biz. We should absolutely expect more, he concludes. We are by no means done. With PlayStation, we have a long way to go. I will personally be spending a lot of my time with Pete and the team at Bungie, making sure that everything else beds down right and that autonomy means autonomy. But elsewhere in the organization, we have many more moves to make. We're seeing that a lot on the Sony front. They went out and got like Crunchyroll, Funimation, or whatever. You saw them get Evo. Like, they're getting a lot of different things, and they're assembling this sort of worldwide entertainment approach, if you will. So watching them is incredibly exciting, and I think they're going to get the ball rolling now. They've got this announcement here. They announced a state of play for GT7, Spartacus. PlayStation's going to be fun to watch. We got, of course, Horizon Forbidden West coming soon. The word is already out that review copies are in the wild now. So there is a lot to be excited about for PlayStation, I think. And if you're an Xbox fan, you're sitting there going, stop. They just bought Activision, for God's sakes. Please stop. So with that, I'm excited about this. I want to see a competitive PlayStation. I'm glad that they're not keeling over and that this deal was months in the making where they're just doing their own game plan. It doesn't seem to be a direct response, but perhaps the next acquisition by PlayStation could be. Again, we'll have to wait for the black and white to appear to really dissect that and see if that may have been the case. But anyway, How are you feeling about this big PlayStation acquisition? Please fire away in the comments down below. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Those links are in the description down below. And a big thank you to all the patrons, all the members who continue to support the hell out of the content here. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.